Hi everybody and welcome back to class. This is the video for class session 3 of English 112, and what a wild night we had last night. Blackboard went down on the date that many of you had homework to turn in, especially for this class, and I know there were a lot of problems with that. I appreciated all of you who alerted me by text message or by email that you were having trouble, and of course if Blackboard goes down and you're unable to submit your homework in time, I'm not going to hold that against you. I do appreciate you sending me messages and letting me know you're having trouble, but it looks like everyone was able to get it in either last night or this morning. So the problem appears to have been averted. We're going to take a look at what we have to do for session 3. This will be a very important session for the class, because in this we're going to be picking the subjects upon which we will be writing several different essays. But before we get to that, I want to reference a couple of important points on the essays that were just turned in. And to do that, I'm going to open one of the essays. This one was turned in by Niall Jones, and Niall did a nice job in formatting this paper according to MLA. Now, Niall is not the only one that did this correctly, but this is one of the better ones, and I thought I'd point out a couple of things that Niall did very well. In MLA format, of course, he's got his last name and the page number, then Niall's name, my name. And notice Niall did not insert professor or Mr. or any other title. It's just simply my name, first and last, and that's as it should be. English 112 is there, and notice Niall did the date exactly right, 24 January 2016. As I mentioned on one of the earlier videos, in MLA, we always put the day first in digits, then the month, and then the year. And Niall also used the correct date of the 24th because the 24th was the due date. Now, Niall may have started typing this on January 17th. I have no idea. And in Word, it often defaults and lists the date you started creating something, but you're going to want to override that and make sure that you're using the due date. Niall also provided a title, which is centered here. Notice Niall did not use a cover page because in MLA, we don't use cover pages. Probably could have capitalized the P in political, but that's nitpicky, and I won't give Niall too much of a hard time. But this is how it should look. Nice job, Niall, and many others who also did a nice job with this. There were a few that didn't get this exactly right, but I want to make sure that we get this right moving forward. All right, let's jump into the class session and see what we have to do for today. There's a lot of reading in this one, and not too much writing. We're only writing a proposal and working on a discussion board, and several of you have already jumped into the discussion board, and we'll look at that as well. So we are in session 3, critical reading and topic proposal. You are not writing an essay this time, only proposing a topic. I will assume that you're going to read the learning objectives and the learning activities, and I'm going to go straight into the folder on critical reading. And there's a lot in here. The first article, Thinking Rhetorically in Writing Commons. I want to open this one. This one has a number of videos in it. There's one right there. But this page is not the end. Make sure you're clicking on the next button. I read this one a little while ago, and I think it's 6 particular pages with some additional videos embedded in them. And I'm not going to go through the entire thing. I just want to point out that this is fairly long. And in fact, of all the articles that you have to read for this week, this is one of the better ones. Of course, you're going to read them all, but I would pay particular attention to this one. And here's another video. So again, about 6 pages. There's also one here on what is college writing, which is very good. Again, it's long. I know. I had to read it too. Reading to write. In fact, all the articles this week are very good. This one's from the Chronicle of Higher Education. And as you read these, if you find anything that you like in particular, feel free to cite it. You can include quotes from any of these in an essay. I think there may be one more, but I want to check. Nope, that is it. There are 4, but they are fairly long. I know. And before you do any work, make sure you read through those first. Now there is a discussion board for this week, and the discussion board centers on a positive solution related to the scourge of plagiarism. And because there's a couple of topics listed in there already, let's take a look at one of them at least. So Emmy, April, and Paige have all already begun the discussion board. Let's take a look at Emmy's. And when I read this, I was struck by one thing that Emmy said, which was, since college is a distant memory for me, I don't know if plagiarism is a big problem these days. I can't seem to highlight right now. I assume with the advancements of the internet in the past decade, it would actually be harder to get away with plagiarism. The answer is yes and no. Yes, because much of your work is already checked electronically, and if you have included something that comes from another source, it's supposed to catch that. Now, obviously, if you're including quotes from something, there's going to be a lot of matches, but when I read through the paper, I'm going to see that you cited your source and that it comes from somewhere else. That's the good news. The bad news is there's a lot of sites like this one. This one is called essaytyper.com, and please don't use this in this class or in any other class, but I am showing it to you because we all know it's out there. And what essaytyper does, it will write an essay for you. Oh no, it's finals week and I have to finish my... I'm just going to make up a topic. Battle of Lake Erie, which is part of the War of 1812, immediately. And here's how this works. And what I'm going to do is just simply hit keys on the keyboard randomly and watch what happens. I know I can't really type this fast. And so on and so on and so on. If I keep pounding on the keyboard, it's going to write about a 5-page paper for me, and including citations. Now, as an instructor, if I read this, I would know that this was manufactured. How does essaytyper work? Well, it pulls information from Wikipedia and a lot of other sources, not all of which are very reputable, like Wikipedia, which is not reputable. But this is just a demonstration to show you, to Emmy and to everyone else in the class, that technology has made it easier to catch plagiarism, but it also makes it easier to pull off. So we're still fighting largely the same battle. Speaking of your essays, I forgot to mention this. When can you expect something back on your ad analysis project? Well, we've got a really large course. There's a lot of people in this class, and I have to read all of them. I hope to get them back to you by the end of this week. I will do my best. Because this is such a large class, I won't be able to make a lot of specific comments about what everyone has turned in. I will make some comments on all of them, but I won't be able to go into a great amount of detail about everything that you've written, just because there are so many to go through. But I'll do my best. So far we've covered what you have to read for this week, and there's a lot of it. The discussion board. We've already discussed that. And now let's take a look at the topic proposal. And again, you're not writing an essay, you're simply proposing a topic. And there's a worksheet that gives you some more detail about how to do this. And it's right here under this file folder, Write and Submit Topic Proposal. Make sure you pick a topic that you like, because as you'll see, you're going to be using this same topic more than once. So make sure it's something you really care about or that you really want to write about. This is just a proposal. You're simply laying out for me what it is you intend to write about. What is the issue? And to a small extent, tell me the stand that you're going to be taking. Are you for or against your particular issue? And as it says, you're going to use this topic proposal for your annotated bibliography, classical argument, Toulmin argument, your second annotated bibliography, and your Rogerian argument. In other words, taking different argumentative approaches to the same topic. What could your topic be? Well, it could be just about anything except any of these. Unless I give you permission, and I won't, so don't even consider them. The purpose, as it says, is to help you develop your ideas for your later essays and annotated bibliographies. Of course, we're only using MLA. Don't use APA in this class. The audience for all of these essays and this proposal will be the other readers in the class and me. The focus, and this is important, provides me with a clear view of the issue that you plan on using for the major papers and both bibliographies, and it should clearly explain why your position or your approach is the best. And here's how you should format it. A working title in MLA format, not APA. You can change the title as you work through the assignments, that's fine. Give me a working thesis that you believe is true about the issue and that you plan to support. And this is a tentative thesis. You can change this later. That's okay, but at least give me a thesis for now. And this one, for me, is very important. Explain why you care about this topic. What is your issue? Why does it mean so much to you? And it should be something more than, well, it's just something that's always interested me, or I think it's important to society. Be more specific. Tell me why you care. After you've told me why you care, tell me why it's important to everyone else. What is it about this that everyone else needs to know that they may not? I hate the term raising awareness, but this might be one time to use that. Why do you want to raise awareness? Why do people need to know about this? Next, tell me how you're going to research the topic. Can you use Google or Yahoo? Of course you can. But can you limit your search to just Google or Yahoo? Of course you can't. You're going to want to use the library site. And look at scholarly journals. Again, some of the journals that we have read for our readings in these sessions, that might be a good place if you find some information that fits with your topic. Tell me how you're going to analyze the information. Both pro and con. You will likely look for articles that tend to agree with your stance. But as you're writing all of these arguments, of course, you're going to want to include the perspective of the people that disagree with you. Tell me who the target audience is. Could it be parents of young children? Could it be people that own motorcycles? It's not specific enough to say everyone should know about this. Be more detailed. And go ahead and start to assemble some of your works cited page. This will not be complete for all the essays and the annotated bibliographies that you're going to be using, but tell me where you intend to look, and go ahead and list some sources there. See the syllabus for the due date? Well, it's due this week. Make sure you print this off. I've gone through it quickly. Please read it completely. Once you have your proposal, and again, it's not an essay, you can follow the bullet points on the list that I just showed you, you're going to submit it to me here. Now, it is possible I may find one or two students who have proposed a topic that I disagree with. I'll work with that student. We'll try and refine what it is you're interested, maybe find a different angle. It is also possible I may tell you that that's a topic I really don't want to see. and I'll ask you to try again. I hope that doesn't happen, but it is possible. Let's go back to class sessions and make sure that we've covered everything. Notice in session 4 we're starting on the classical argument, but let's not look too far ahead. So again, critical reading, there's a lot there. Session 3 discussion, make sure that you write your original post and reply to 2 other students. Your original post should be a minimum of 250 words. Your responses should be 200 words, and that's 200 words each. There's the worksheet for the topic proposal, and here is where you submit it. And that appears to wrap it up for week 3. Again, I know last night was crazy. I appreciate everyone's patience. If you need me, as always, 812-498-4200 is my text number. If you'd like to discuss the topic that you are considering, I welcome that sort of discussion. You're also welcome to email me at mstenger and the number 1 at ivytech.edu. Have a great week, everybody. I'll see you around.